Hey guys, this is Neo with yet another replay cast, as our New Year's resolution is to bring you as much content here on YouTube as we possibly can. So if there's no live tournaments on our Twitch channel where we broadcast Warcraft 3 competitively basically every single day, but if there's no tournament, we want to provide you some extra content here on YouTube. And so far, I think it was quite great. We have a playlist here with NetEase replay casts. And for example, we covered the Warcraft3.info replay of the year of Fly100 versus Hawk, and man, was that an epic battle between a Mountain King and the Warden, or what? After this cast, if you still have some craving for Warcraft, go check it out. We just select the best replays that we can get into our hands and show them to you here on our YouTube. But it's not Night Elf versus Human today, it's not Fly100 versus Hawk today. We still have a human. This time it's not a Russian, it's Sok from South Korea, and he will be battling Fly in Human versus Orc. And if you rewind a little to WGL Winter, we have seen these two players in the same group. It was actually the last game of the group. It went full distance, and it was the deciding match between Fly and Sok to determine who's going to the playoffs. Fly won that super duper close, but Sok had a very good chance, and I can't wait to see them face each other here again, even though it's not a competitive environment. It's just the NetEase ladder, but sometimes these games provide the most fun. So let's see what these two players have to offer, and let's introduce the players first, as we have our tale of the tape. It's Fly from China, one of the most legendary orcs that this game has ever seen, alongside Lin, Grubby, and maybe Focus. He's a former world champion with WCA in 2015, also 2 big silver medals with WCG, and also a silver medal in the summer edition of the Gold Series, where he only lost to TH. So he's a renowned name. He's one of the best players this game has ever seen. On the other side, we have Sok, quite a talent from Seoul, South Korea. Still 26 years old. He's hanging out with the gang of Chimiko, Soin, and Lordlight. They're still living together in one team house. And as I said, man, it was really close for him to make it into the top 8. It was Fly in the end who made it into the quarterfinals of WGL, but Sok was as close as he never was before, I guess. So we'll see how this game goes. We are on Echo Owls. We have a nice Orc versus Human, so let's not waste any more time and dive right in. In the upper left, we have Sok. And he's quite an interesting player in this matchup. He has his early game has a lot of variety in it. He can play Archmage, creep to level 3, he can expand. He can also harass immediately. This is something that we rarely see, like before level 3 harassment. He has like the knife between his teeth sometimes.
Job's done.
But maybe on Echo Isles, he decides to go for something else. And that's exactly what we see here. A Mountain King first for Clap and Bolt, of course, followed up with some Footmen. So what's his opponent going to play? Fly is deciding to go for a Blade Master, as it is the obvious choice and the usual choice on a map like Echo Isles, because there's so many great items for him. He's also following it up with a barracks and a shop, so it's gonna be most likely the 1 burrow tech, which is quite fast, but sometimes orcs skip a burrow, skip a shop to tech even faster. This is not the case here, so it should be a fairly normal tech battle if Sok doesn't decide to go for an expansion, and that is very rare in Human versus Orc. But especially on this map, it's almost meta, I feel.
Ready for action.
Swapping to this, yeah, exactly.
Work complete.
To Fly's vision to be able to see
Under attack.
the Blade Master better. I have to adapt the overlay to it. Sorry about that little production issue. Should have prepared that before, but you know, sometimes stuff is slipping. So Mountain King it is. The choice now, Mercenary Camp or Expansion. He's going for the Mercenary Camp, and this is so reminiscent of the WCG final of 2009, where this happened to Fly, I guess. Oh no, to Infi, with the Mountain King first, and Fly arrived with the Blade Master, killed his Mountain King, and then GG after 3 minutes in the World Championship Grand Final. Will this happen again? The Blade Master is coming in, but Mountain King gets it. Item goes to the Blade Master, though. It's a Pendant of Energy. What a big steal. Here comes Sok denying this little Shadow Priest, so the Blade Master remains without experience yet, but here's the first blood for Mikasa. But especially this Pendant steal is the biggest thing that you can possibly hope for. with 150 mana, that's 2 Storm Bolts that you get rid of by just walking over this item. And he gets some more kills, so a bloodthirsty Blade Master we have. And the resources are swapped as well. My apologies for that I have to pause again. But it will just take a little second. There we go. And it's finished. There we go. So, still a good harass by Fly, I guess. He got 65 XP, killed the Shadow Priest immediately, and got the item. Mountain King got level 2 though, so not too much experience was stolen on Sock's side. But what's he going to do with it? We see 1, 2, 3, 4, quite a few peasants. This could still be an expansion if he wants to, but he needs some mercenary support, I guess. Fly is preparing already with the Wommel. No pressure on his side here. The burrows come up, number 2 and 3, so he's prepared for the Shadow Hunter to come out, or whatever he decides to go for. Ooh, Grunt a little ballsy, but the surround is not closed, I guess. Now he's just the position of the footman, and that's a big pickup for Sock in this regard. It's like 200 gold gone and big experience on his way to level 3. Blade Master is rushing over again with plenty of Windwalk. Here we see the first one, and with that Windwalk he sees the militia coming over, so that's certainly an indicator for a fast expansion in the bottom left of Echo Isle. So the question is, how will he react to this? As we see the War Mill, this could be a tower rush even on tier 2 if he so desires. Maybe even with the Tinker or so, I don't know. As always in these replay casts, I did not watch the game before. I just trust on Walker3.info to provide us with the best replays and give them the crowns. So, quite a few targets for the Blade Master here. Mountain King, oh, nice steal from the Blade Master, getting the big ogre. So, Fly's Blade Master control pretty damn good, but it's still 5 peasants alive. Is there another Stormbolt? Yes, there is. Could cancel the healing, doesn't do so. While he continues to harass with the footman here, scouting what's going on, but he doesn't see what Fly is doing on tier 2 as he was killed right before the tech is finished. And with his Blade Master here, he denies the expansion of Sock, actually. But the towers start now. Oh, he's continuing to do so. Nice little move by Fly. He gets another kill. Does he want to dodge the Stormbolt? Ah, doesn't do it. So this expansion is obviously very, very late already. We're at the 5-minute 30 mark and it didn't even start yet. Reinforcements are coming in, we have 2 mercenaries as well, but grunts are getting ready to harass this expansion, and also the Shadow Hunter as the second hero, as Torrent Totem and Beastery are coming. So this looks like a normal Raider Walker build by Fly thus far, with an earlier Warmel. So the grunts come in, trying to kick the Town Hall immediately. The focus is on the Blade Master, but he's still able to get a few hits in. So Sock at the moment on the receiving end of all the harass. Like, what could he really do in this game? Except this one grunt surround, there wasn't too much. This is the last Windwalk though, and there's still plenty of Storm Bulls. The grunts are hanging around as well, but one of them is hurt. Shadow Hunter is making his way over with clarities and heal selves. It will help the Blade Master for sure. And Sock is trying to go for this expansion once again with a Lumber Mill in the back. And the Shadow Hunter did not decide for a build yet.
Work complete.
But especially the Blade Master has to make sure to not get in range of the Stormbolt without Windwalk. Now we have the spell for the Shadow Hunter. It's Hex. The usual stuff. But sometimes you want a little... you want to be a little pushy and go for Serpent Ward, so you want to have more heal, and you go for Heal Wave, obviously. But that's not the case here. Mountain King close to level 3. Expo 60% up, and with that, I don't think Fly can break this anymore. Of course, now the Pendant of Energy is even better, as it's not only on the Blade Master, but on the Shadow Hunter, providing another Heal Wave or 2 hexes, or 1.5 hexes. So this is Raider Walker as normal. No second hero for Sock yet. He started tier 2, but this will take like 2 more minutes.
Under attack.
And Fly seems like he decides to go for a counter expansion. He's creeping this fairly early. Of course, with the Shadow Hunter, you want the level 2, you want the heal wave before the first fight. But is it okay to give Sock that much space? The expansion is up, fortified as well, or starting to be fortified. Sock is scouting this now, but... oh, okay. He sees the peon. The Great Hall is not queued yet. Now it is. Okay, so he decides to go for the tier 2 expansion as well. Loses the footman, but that information was absolutely worth it. So Fly needs to distract a little now and force Sock to spend his money, because you can't allow the human to just hoard the gold until tier 2, because then the 70 supply push is hitting you right in the face super fast. But the question is how? Killing some footmen is always a good idea. Late Master didn't get it, but got the item, and now of course he's revealed. And the Raiders are coming in as well. Once again, the Shadow Priest snipe. Fly super quick on his feet when it comes to these Shadow Priests. We've seen this before. And the Berserker is falling to the Grunts and Raiders as well. This is more experience for the Shadow Hunter. Wow, what a fight by Fly thus far. 3-0. Shadow Priest, Berserker, and a Footman dead. The base sees some towers though. We see Defend ready. A little afraid of the Serpent Wards, I guess. Mountain King level 3 is making his way over now, but he can't really afford to lose his only production building. That's right. There is double barracks. Oh, cancels the barracks now. So maybe he was in fear of losing it. So it's only a blacksmith. Very fortified expansion. So Raiders, before they can attack the base of the towers, they have to chew through the farms and the blacksmith. So Mountain King sees the expansion now. And of course, while it's still in production, it's very easy to kill. Usually you would have an Archmage here with Water Elementals and then it's a guaranteed cancel. But with only the MK, who of course can't bolt buildings, there's not much damage. So also he's got to be careful of the double disable that the Orcs have. Here's the first one with the Hex, trying to get closer with the Raiders to force a town portal. You really don't want to use another Hex for the mana, but it seems like the Raiders are not here, but he's getting another Hex out and the surround. This has to be the TP. He can't really afford to letting him die, or he can't really fight out. Gets another clap to do a little damage at least, and then off and away. In the meantime, a little Footman harass again. This is what Defend is pretty good for, as this is piercing damage from the burrows. But yeah, he gets information. That's about it. But Fly's expansion is done. There's a burrow coming for the fortification. So, Sock, what are you going to do now? Arcane Sanctum number 1 is up. Number 2 is coming as well. The base sees no second production building. Also, no rifleman. It's just plain Footman from his side. But we're gonna see the Sorceress soon. This helps a lot. With only 2 Sanctums, Fly has still some time to make his expansion pay off and maybe overwhelm him. Whoa, he's going tier 3 as well. With these additional resources, he says it's worth it to go to tier 3. Also gets the 1 consumable here on Echo Isles. In the middle, the Wind of Mana stealing, always great against the Mountain King, who has to be in range of basically everything. And if a hero is in range, you can easily siphon the mana with the Wind of Mana stealing, even with range. And whoa, Blizzard first, no Water Elementals at all. Of course, the Blade Master is trying to steal something. That worked out quite well. I don't even know who got the experience, but it doesn't look too good for the Archmage, so I assume that the Blade Master got some kills here. Also the Priest. Absolutely spectacular performance by Fly thus far. Coming in now with 3 Raiders to try and cut the reinforcements here. Try to cut the production in half. A signature move by guys like Romantic or Foggy. But now Fly is finding the time, and that was fairly easy. Didn't lose anything for it. Even gets a few workers. Does he have pillage already? I'm not sure. Don't think so. But he has 1,300, 1,400 gold. Okay, so it is pillage.
Our town is under attack.
Archmage is coming in with a blizzard. That's quite nice. Also, the Mountain King in the base. Maybe is there a staff? No, there's not. Interesting. Walker Adept upgrade is done, so he can use more Spirit Link. But as I said, this base is pretty fortified. Mountain King and Footman are on the hunt for some peons, but they're all in the burrows. Archmage down to 130 mana, so he can't spam Blizzard too much anymore. And in the meantime, the slaughter at the expansion continues. The Sorcerers can't provide another slow, as it seems. And the Blade Master can do whatever he wants. He's plus 10 damage. Oh, but now the Mountain King found the targets. You can see the corpses of these poor peons. But he has a very bad army to break buildings. He's losing more Footmen here in the base. That's the second one. But he denied the mining for quite some time. His own expansion is still up. He's gathering more casters now, building the second sanctum in the back, and Sock is really doing a great job in distracting Fly and holding him back and buying time, and makes him spend his resources basically. Stormbolt again, right clicks again, and a kill again. Level 2 for the Archmage now, so Brilliance Aura is a thing.
Ready to work.
And Fly, who was pressuring and playing such a great game until the 12-minute mark, I guess, suddenly is in a little bit of trouble as Sock has the expansion established. Sock has still 2 production buildings and is pumping now. 56 supply for Fly against 50 for Sock, who's still saving some gold, but not for much longer, I guess. So Fly is losing some resources to taxes compared to his opponent. And this is so nice that it's always a little troop of 1 or 2 footmen distracting and forcing the raiders back with the ensnare, or at least a part of the army has to stay at home. I wonder if Fly should go for reinforced defenses. I mean, should be affordable. He is super low on lumber thanks to this harass though, so maybe that's an issue. Sucker's coming in again. 3 and 2 heroes compared to 4 and 4. This shows you how good the early game was for Fly, that he killed so much and that he had so much time to creep the rest of this map. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, usually we cast things live on twitch.tv/backtowarcraft. Check our schedule at backtowarcraft.com if you don't want to rely on the YouTube sources but want to have this content live and in real time.
Ready to work.
So Mountain King is getting closer to 4. Blade Master has the orb now though, so plus 15 damage without Kodo Beasts. Windwalk being used, Invis on the hero, so they can't be ensnared. That's really cool. All the important units are invisible now. This one dies but saves like 4. And Fly has no idea that the heroes went to the right-hand side. So they're coming in with Clap and Blizzard again.
We're under attack.
I mean, Fly is close, but he just started the creep spot. This burrow is gone, or was gone. Here we go. Clap, Blizzard, right clicks. Well done by Sock. Getting level 4 with this. Invis again.
Research complete.
Wow, what a cool play by Sock. Wiped out the entire peon line. That will cost him like 350 gold and continues to harass here. Now we have reinforced defenses, so this isn't really possible in the main because, yeah, because of the siege or fortified armor. But Fly is down to 100 resources, going for a watchtower now, but that won't help too much because of defense. So I questioned this tech a lot. Or Clap a little too late. I questioned this tech a lot because it's so heavy on lumber, but it pays off so well to have this defendability against the burrows and be able to harass. So if you harass a lot, feel free to research Banish. Banish, defend, I mean. So the Blade Master's purges, we haven't seen too much of this. Oh, in this cast again. There was a lot of mana though that he used on those sorcerers, but I haven't seen Invis used in that fashion in a long time. We are at tier 3 for the human, by the way. We see the Paladin 3rd, we get Inner Fire, we get Polymorph possibly. And on the other side, Fragmentation Shards as well. So 4 production buildings for Sock now, who feels very, very comfortable as it seems. With his 1000 gold still, he's pushing for the upgrades to not get into upkeep, not pay the taxes, and get more gold off its 2 gold mines than Fly does, because Fly is constantly above 50 supply, losing 3 gold per worker on 2 gold mines. That's quite a lot. Blade Master's not level 5, so the crits aren't too crazy. Is he getting another pendant? That would be sick though. No, Boots of Speed, never bad. And it seems like Fly is getting a little better again. The human heroes are not out of control at all. Especially the Archmage made it barely to level 2.
We're under attack!
But Sock is now breaking upkeep. Invested about 1,000 gold here.
Our town is under attack!
It will be in a bit, but he's facing a level 5 Shadowhunter now. The Echo Harass continues. We will compare the gold mines here in a bit. And he's getting a Grunt as well. Repair is so hard, even if it's only a level 1 Blizzard. But yeah, it seems like he can repair this. So now he supplies like at 61, getting a few more kills. Nice stab. And there's an invul, so the Mountain King can most likely run out. Oh, he has a TP and uses that one. But we have a Spirit Lodge, a unit, or a building that we don't see too much in competitive Warcraft anymore because the Walkers are now part of the Torrent Totem. So Witch Doctors for Sentry Wars to be able to reveal the movement of the invisible units of Sock. This is gonna be interesting, boys. We're gonna have Knights, Master Casters, Mortars against Radar, Walker, Witch Doctor, who are still Initiate, and he only built 1 thus far. But Stasis Trap, man, is a good spell if you can get it off. And of course he has the level 5 Shadowhunter working with him as well. Heal Scroll now. Mana Potion on the SH. The TC, 3rd hero, got the Boots of Speed, so stun will be great, but... Oh, level 3 on the Archmage. Big damage upgrade. And they will face each other now. The front line of Sock is barely existing. And he's sniping the Mortar team immediately. That was very well done for Fly, but the fragmentation shots are still hitting in combination with the clap that was gigantic, and Blizzard is coming, raining from above. This AoE of Sock's army is absolutely insane. Holy Light to save this Mortar team for a little bit more, dash out a little bit more damage with the Kodo Beast. Not upgraded, by the way. The aura is still +2 only. Paladin only level 1, and there he has to reposition, has to TP out. The second TP in just 2 minutes, so that's a lot of gold force, but this position is absolutely perfect for Sock with his ranged army and casters in the back, protected by the breakers and heroes and even militia. So that's the sign for Fly to retreat. Both parties with triple hero now. Very rare to see this in this matchup, but usually that's the best games between the two. 2-1 upgrade for Fly, 1-1 for Sock at the moment. I wonder if we see Polymorph. We have the first Inner Fires here on the heroes for the +5 armor especially. Blizzard again, no. And Snare. The Blizzard is raining way too long. He's not canceling it at all, even though it's level 2. Weird. Clap against stun. Stun wins this for now. Breakers are all over the place. Nice Blizzard into the backline. The casters for the Orcs are quite tanky compared to the human casters, but still, he's hitting a lot of humans with units with it. Blade Master's going for the Paladin now. The Paladin is safe. Speed Scroll being used by Fly. He wants to dive in for some big kills, but that's actually not working. Everything is clumped up, so the perfect target for the Blizzard for once. The End Snare is nice. Blade Master is dropping fairly low, but the level 3 heal wave is there. That was the second last one, though. He has another potion, so that might be fine. No level 5 Mountain King on the other side. And now it's Fly who has to TP out because it's 2 Raiders about to fall. He gets both of them, maybe even 3. No, the clap not strong enough, or the right click's not strong enough, but 60 supply for Fly against 75 for Sock. The Korean seems to be
Research complete.
in the driving seat here in this game, as Fly has to use a lot of resources. Now going for the Witch Doctor upgrade, so potentially Stasis Trap on the rise. So let's compare the main gold mines, because they are about to expire. 600 gold for Sock compared to 2,000. It's a 1.4k harass game, and then you can easily afford 1 or 2 town portals. Sick.
My life.
So this is an old school human strategy. We've seen this from guys like Hooligan back in 2008. Fortifying this position with the shop in the back, so once the dust settles, you can easily come back to this shop, and as an orc, you really don't want to fight in tower range, especially if they have magic sentry to be able to reveal the Blade Master. 74 versus 70, both are maxing out. 7,000 gold here, 3,500 gold here. So the longer the game goes, the better it is for Fly because he will be the one guy mining, but he's aiming for the Archmage immediately. Here comes the End Snare. Here comes the critical strike. Another End Snare to back this up, but the Blade Master is in trouble as well. Hex, oh, nice staff out. There was no End Snare this time. So the Archmage and the Brilliance Aura is out of this game. We still don't see a Polymorph somewhere. But yeah, that wasn't the best engagement for Fly. Also not very decisive, I guess. Buying the time for the towers is Sock. They're finishing up now. Scout Tower ready. I mean, Arcane Tower ready. Guard Tower ready. And more to come. And does he still have Mortar teams? I think so. Yeah, at least one. So he can control the battlefield from there. Sentry wards are, of course, nice to see if there's some kind of movement, but he's also owning the shop now with this position. There's no way Fly can go to a shop. In a fire on the heroes once again. And now he's towering on the little island. Getting rid of the shop would be nice to enable the Shadowhunter to go for a potion or clap into Blizzard. That's so nice, and he does have the mana usually for a spell. Doesn't get it off as the Shadowhunter is a little faster. Clarity is running 600 mana on this dude, by the way. Sick claps again. Must be level 3. Level 2, of course. No bash in this game. Raiders are starting to fall as area of effect damage is basically everywhere. Fly is down to 73 supply, still 80 for Sock. Here we have the level 2 for the Paladin, and this guy is so safe now with the Divine Shield. Oh, he's going for Aura, interestingly. Devotion Aura against this. Archmage is Hex to counter the Blizzard, but here it comes again. We even have Tauren now coming for Fly, but the Chieftain is gone. Can he get the revenge kill? Yep, both support heroes, both third heroes eliminated from this game. Mountain King still standing strong. Heal Wave again hitting the Blade Master. So what can the Tauren do now? I think now even Polymorph would be good, but it costs so much mana and this spell is there. So maybe not use that spell to disable the Tauren. You have still, or they have still the Mortar teams dealing a lot of damage to the Great Hall now. Here comes the Demolisher to add damage as well. The main gold mines are expired, or at least the one for the Sock. Holy shit. There's action everywhere, but the Torrents are about to fall. This will hurt Remo when he sees this. But no, the heal wave is ready, and the Blade Master is on his Devious level 5. But here goes the Great Hall. Down it is. No income for Fly, I guess, as well. He's going for a little Hail Mary. Everything is super low. He has to get a kill now. Here comes the Purge. Oh my god, this is so much damage from the Blade Master. The Archmage falls, but it's level 5 on the Mountain King. He has still a clap. Breakers are about to fall. Either 3. Oh my god, level 2 for the Tauren Chieftain. He's back, and the Torrents are revived with the last bit of mana from the Walkers. So let's take a look. Main gold mine for Fly is gone. Main gold mine for Sock is gone, and Sock only has 1,600 gold. He has to finish this soon, and of course make sure that Fly is not getting another expansion up. But with those 2 towers, oh, I was just about to say that should be easy, but not against 2 Demolishers. 63 supply against 69. Will the heroes carry it for the Orc, or will it be the big army? Looks like it's the bigger army. Here comes Clap again. Blade Master is slowed down. That goes for the damage as well. But looks like the Torrents are chewing through. He's wasting so much damage on them, and then they're just revived. Going for the Mountain King now. The healing is on the TC. This time he will not fall. He stuns him for 3 seconds. Invis comes for the save, though there's no mana on the Mountain King. So he's just a big little footman at the moment. Can't provide anything, but the army of Sock is still so much bigger. Heal wave after heal wave. That wasn't even the last one. And he has a Clarity that he could use. It's 3 heroes and the Demolishers against them all. But what siege damage will be better here in this game? That's the big question. Going for the Mountain King again, but there is a Paladin without mana, though the lack of Archmage is certainly feasible. But whoa, what a Stormbolt out of nowhere! This Blade Master, though, gets killed by the feedback damage of the Spellbreakers. The big damage dealer for Fly is gone. The Torrent, there won't be any mana anymore. The Walker comes in, but man, he can only revive so much, and he taps out as Sock, even without an Archmage in this fight, wins this game. And what a game it was again. Back and forth and back and forth. Pretty sick. Fly with a better hero score, but man, let's look at the resources. It's a 6,000 gold difference in favor of Sock, thanks to the Great Harass and the earlier expansion, of course. So after the great early game of Fly, this got him back. Like 2 footmen in the main, constantly attacking the peons, constantly attacking the burrows, and then this non-water elemental instant Blizzard Archmage. I really like that. I mentioned this so many times that the AoE combo of Clap and Blizzard is so good because it's so hard to micro against it. I mean, with Speed Scroll, it's a little easier, but if you harass and constantly go for the gold workers and then have to invest into Speed Scrolls the entire time, that's rough. So, also a few end snares were a little lackluster by Fly. There was a lot more damage than there should have been. But yeah, pretty cool game. Especially like this 2 hero, 2 sorceress play by Sock. That saved him the game, basically, to be able to wipe out the peon line of Fly multiple times. And yeah, that's what he's known for, man. Be annoying, Mr. King Cancer, winning this game here on the NetEase ladder. I hope you enjoyed this. We will follow this up with more replay casts. If you really like what you see here on this channel, either here or on Twitch, feel free to support us. We have donate.backtowarcraft.com where you can use credit card, PayPal, or even cryptocurrency. You can also buy t-shirts at shop.backtowarcraft.com or subscribe at Twitch. Would be much appreciated to keep this channel running. We will be back. Our schedule is at backtowarcraft.com to see whenever the live casts are, usually at high noon Central European time, especially the weekends. Should be a pretty good time for you otherwise. Catch up here on YouTube. Thanks for watching and see you with the next cast.